Good Friday morning, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor with, we'll stop calling it what's on my bench update. I did get a lot, and I mean a lot done to the Richard Petty ramp truck race day theme done. When we're done with this video, I'm going to paint the chase truck. We did decide to do the chase truck in the vermilion red, just to add some little contrast, because the only red that's on the car is the lower half and a little stripe across the roof. So I think with the ramp truck being vermilion red and all the blue, they'll kind of coincide with each other pretty well. You can let me know what you think down there in the comments. The 58, man, this is the first black paint job that I've ever done. I mean, I've done years ago, as far as a gloss finish one. I've done matte black and all that. The primer, the Mr. Hobby's 1500 black, it laid so smooth. The paint laid, and it's Tropical Glitz Abyss black. For all you, if you want to pause and freeze and write it down, ready to spray, Abyss black. You can go to their website. There's their website. Whoops. I know it's backwards, but you'll get it. You know what it is. This was like, it's pricey, but I mean, look, you get the big bottle. I mean, this will paint, I don't even know how many, because I've not gone through a whole bottle in the 3 years I've been buying their product. But it's got a little ball down in there. You shake it up, and the other paint. It's lacquer, and like I said, it's ready to spray. They take very, very good care of their packaging. Every bottle's got a seal on the inside. You take the lid off, pull the seal off. And then they put tape around the lid to keep the lid from vibrating loose coming off in shipment. And everything's packed very nice. Very fast shipping. I've never had anything take over a week with them. I mean, I order it like on a Saturday night and it's here by like Wednesday, Thursday. Sometimes sooner, sometimes a day or two later. It's just with the mail. But I think that was like $16, something like that, for that bottle. But, you figure you spend $6, $7 for a little bottle of Splash or Gravity or any of the other ones that are lacquer-based, ready to spray. You're paying, basically $7 a bottle. And even if you doubled that, that's $14. You're $2 shy of that, and even 2 bottles of Splash doesn't equal 1 bottle of that. So the value's, like I say, you balling on a budget, you got to look at what's most cost effective. If you're trying to get quantity and quality, sometimes you pay a little bit more, but you have more of the product to last a lot longer than what it would if you bought the little, $6 bottle of paint. The little $6 paint, I might be able to do one full paint job with it, and then like a 2-tone paint job where I'm only using, doing half the body on the next one, to lay down enough paint to get the results you want. And then there's been times I've gotten 2.5 bodies out of a little $6 jar of paint. So, go check out Tropical Glitz. I mean, the color array is just, it's mind-boggling. They have the pearls, they have the candies. Most of the candies are House of Color, which everybody's pretty much familiar with. They took over House of Color, and they keep that certain line of paint going. The clear coat I used is excellent. It put a nice, I mean, we're going to see it here in a second, but the only thing, I don't even have to wet sand the hood. There's not enough in the hood to worry about wet sanding. Now the roof, the top of the trunk deck and the top of the fenders, I will wet sand, and maybe the top of the front of the fenders on the outside. I'm not too sure about the inside. Looks pretty good. It just didn't. I didn't put enough leveling thinner in it to level the clear coat out at the end, like I usually do. So like my first 2 coats are light, My third coat is a little heavier, and then my fourth and fifth coat I add thinner to the clear, so it, as it sits and cures and vapes out, it levels the whole finish out, so you get a fairly decent, smooth finish and not very much wet sanding. I forgot a step, it's my fault, but I did get some orange peel in it, but it's nothing that, it, just do the steps, from 3,000 up to 12,000, and then polish it out, and it'll be slick as snot. I'm just dragging you guys along here. I'm just making you wait. Keep that anticipation going. But I've had a lot of great feedback from you guys down in the comments. Things, you want to see, questions. People contact me via Instagram that do watch me here on YouTube. And that's fine. Any way you can get a hold of me, I'll respond in the best way I can. Emails are really great, like I said, because I check them constantly throughout the day. My videos, I check the comments daily. I go back through about once a week through all my other videos and look to see if there's any new comments been added, and I'll respond to those. The ones that I can, they get so far back that I can't, for some reason on my phone, I can't go back through. I got to figure that out. I'm sure there's a way. But progress. So, just to let you know, the ramp truck is pretty much all painted. I'm not clear coating the truck. The truck is shiny enough for the era of the truck it would be. So we don't need to do that. So we are ready for a little bit of weathering. Not a whole lot. Like I said, the truck's just been redone. So the car's been put up and down on the ramp a few times, and dirt from the ground has been tracked up onto the truck. So we're going to do light weathering, just to resemble that. Then we can start getting all the little detail parts that go in the ramp truck painted and put in place. And the interior, all I got left, and I'll show you, is the decal on the dash, and then install the steering column and the steering wheel, and the interior will be done. We know the engine's done, the chassis is done, now the body's painted. So once we're ready to put the interior in, we'll get the glass put in, paint all the trim accordingly. I went with a solid color for the truck. I didn't do the white roof, even though I know from the factory they do that, but this is Richard Petty's race truck. He sent it out and had it all painted. He wanted one solid color on the whole truck. Thanks to Mark at Hobby Nut Models, he sent me some extra decals that he had from his stash, and that'll give me the availability to put some decals on the ramp truck. So that'll, kind of tie it all together. Same ways for the chase truck. We got a few decals to put on that, and I think all that together is going to coincide good. And then here sometime soon we will we'll make a base for it, a little small tiny diorama. Like I showed you before, I do have the race figure. He'll be in the car, just for looks. It's nothing particular. I'm not worried about figures for this one or anything like that. Mainly it's just going to be like it's pulling up to the track, and little tiny section of the track where Richard Petty would set up his equipment and everything else. I want to scratch build a little tent, that the car would be wrenched on underneath, and then the 3 vehicles. So I haven't got it all mapped out yet how I want to do it, but that's primarily how it's going to be. And I got a little spot right up here that it's going to sit. And I may take this one to a show once we get the base done and everything else. The Petty car. So I know in NASCAR, and I've seen it and heard people talk, things are a shade off, 2 different shades, whatever, same color, just different shades. And I did that with the body. The body's painted Petty blue, and the chassis. I know there's some parts of it's got to get painted a different color. I got to look at the instructions again. But I didn't prime the chassis. I scuffed it, and then I painted it Petty blue. So I got that 1 to 2 shades lighter than the body look, which I think looks really good. And you'll see it here in a second. I've got a little bit of work to do on the interior for the 58. Still got to get the plug wires in. I've just been fiddling around with all the little stuff, kind of trying to get everything caught up to where it's sub-assembly time. And we're really close on everything. Just, got to put in the elbow grease. Let's see, 3D printing. 3D printers up and running. We'll have on Monday, if everything comes in on time, we should have a pretty good mail call Monday. I don't know if I've got any shop cards coming or not. There's one or two out there floating around that I should have gotten, but I haven't. I have to go back through and look and see whose they are that I traded with. But, it's no biggie. I know things take time. But an announcement for Z4 SmodeWorks. He's got a package. It's been shipped out. A lot of new products. Some of it's not even out yet. You guys are going to get to see it first. And the vendors who will be producing it. So I will have their links in that video with, for that particular product. And a lot of it's some really cool stuff. I do have a package coming from Morgan's Automotive Detail. That's my #1 distributor I go to for aftermarket plug or distributors and plug wires, pre-wired. His distributors are casted. They're resin casted or whatever material he uses, and they're already colored. So it saves a step in having to paint. And I know a lot of guys like to paint that little fiddly stuff, but if I can save 5-10 minutes or whatever, 15 minutes in dry time before I can handle it and glue it together, I like that. And the finished product is cleaner and smoother looking than, unless I broke out the airbrush for a tiny little fiddly part. But I'm not going through all that. But his prices are right, and I used some of my commission build money, and I stocked up throughout the winter, and part of that's for the first place prize winner too. So check them out. Most of you guys know about him. He does do a resin cast of a long bed for the 70s trucks, C10s. I did purchase one of those a while back, and I used it on that one commission build I did, the two-tone Big 10 454. That's when I converted the four-wheel drive, I don't know, it was Big Game Country or Big Game or whatever it was, pickup truck. I have one there. Big Game Country pickup. It's the camouflage 4x4. I converted that, changed from a short bed to a long bed, converted it from four-wheel drive to two-wheel drive, and then I put the resin bed, which was 1/25th scale. The truck is 1/24th scale. So I had to convert the back of the cab, narrow it down for all the body lines, to line up. And I was able to achieve that. That took a lot of work and a lot of time. It took me about 5 months to build that truck. To get it right anyways. Or as close to right as I could get it. And the customer was happy, and that's all that matters. I think that's about it for updates in the shop. I will have an updated list next week sometime on the 3D printed stuff, what's available. I'm working on some of Ryan Jones's wheels, the ones that's already on his site. When I get them through the test print phase, and I'm okay with those. Like I said, those will be available through me. Be the normal price, guys. You're going to save a couple dollars in shipping. I think normally when I buy a set of wheels from Ryan, it costs me about $25. Depending on what I get. If it's something he's already got, it's like $25. Shipping will be, I'm thinking around 23. So you're gonna save a couple bucks, maybe. I got to do the math and check with the post office still and figure that out. But it's still you're getting the same product. Like I said, my 3D printer's set to his settings. I just got to, when I slice the print, I've got to get those settings to his, because I got them a little different for this stuff here. So I think that's it on everything. So let's get to this real quick. And you know me, I had to mock up the 58. This has not been wet sanded or anything yet, and you can look at that hood. That's just clear coat sprayed. There's 5 coats of clear on this. And now you can see my orange peel gets heavier on the roof. And it gets heavier on the trunk and the top of the fenders and the rear or quarter panels. And on the top of the fenders, it's not too awful bad. So like I said, the areas that I don't need to touch, I'm not going to. So we're going to be wet sanding this down and wet sanding, you know, just across the top of this. Not even down. Down's good. So just up here in the top of the trunk. And that's all we're going to wet sand. And I'll polish it out. And then we'll start the bare metal foil. Before we do the bare metal foil, we will probably jump in and do a video on putting all the wires in place. Because I'm going to, I'll show you here, if it'll show up. So you can kind of see where the wires are lined. There's a little square block right here. I think there's a round block down here. I'm going to cut little tiny pieces of styrene, thin styrene, to that size, and I'm going to glue on to give that 3D dimension to it. And then the wires, of course, running in and out of it. You know, you got to pretty much add all the detail if you're going to go through that extreme. Because the what's the word? The components that are on the firewall, such as the relays and, you know, all the little bells and whistles, whatever it is, the wiper blade or windshield wiper motor, you know, so on and so forth. On a real car, those stand out. While the detail is really faint on that stuff, the detail is there. It's just so low profile that it doesn't look right. So it helps just, you know, it's fiddly stuff, but cut a little shape, sand it down, paint it, glue it in place, and then that pops that detail out away from that firewall and anywhere on the fender well too. If it's just a hole, a chase hole for the wires to go through, I don't worry about that. It's just the little relays and stuff like that. You know, you don't want those wires going into a flat pancake little thing. You want to build that detail out a little bit. Takes a little time. It's not bad, but you know, and you got to be meticulous with it, and shape it, sand it, get just size, and then it becomes tiny. It's hard to handle and maneuver, but there's tools out there to help you do that. But we will be doing that with this. So the video, I may start it, stop it, start it, stop it, and then put it all together as one video. We'll see. Not really for sure on that yet, but we'll take you over here and show you the rest of the 58 real quick. So you can see the seats are painted. I still got to do the dashboard. The door panels are done. It's like a stainless steel finish, and then the other stuff's been chromed. So you get that 2 shades of something in there with the door panel color, and then the, you know, the actual door. I still got to paint the battery. The exhaust I haven't figured out yet. The console's been painted. Shifter, like I said. Steering column. All that's ready to go. The roll cage was painted and cleared. Stainless steel. That's been trimmed out with stainless steel and chrome. On the camera you can't really tell, but in person you look at it, you can see the 2 shades difference between chrome and stainless steel. The back door panels have been done. I got to flock the carpet. So flocking the dashboard and then assemble and add my detail. Like I said, it's going to get a tachometer, the fire extinguisher put in, and then a cable going from the shifter down through. If you look at the console, there's 2 holes. The shifter goes right here, and I'm going to put the tachometer back here, and then the cable from the shifter is going to go down through that hole right there, that little rectangle shaped hole. And once I have that in line, I'll make a little mark and I'll drill a hole and I'll feed the cable down through, and we'll get it put into the relay down there on the side of the transmission, right next to all those fittings. I'll drill a hole out in that, and then I'll just feed the wire down into it. So that'll be connected. That's about it for detail on that. Like I said, I don't want to get carried away. We're going to move over here real quick. I'm going to show you the interior for the truck. We got the seat belts in. The interior is 2-tone. We went with the rubber mat. We're going to leave it that way. I still got to put the pedals in. The sun visor's painted. The steering wheel's painted. The dash is detailed. I just got to add the decal. and then finish putting it together, and it's ready to go. I do have the ramp truck decals over here ready to go. The little letters, I'm got some ideas going on that. I'll keep you up to date. But here's all the petty stuff you can see. So now here you can see the 1 to 2 shade difference between the chassis and the body. And this was MCW paint, and it didn't disappoint. It laid very smooth, and the way I did it was I took a whole bottle and I put it in a bigger bottle. I had a whole another bottle of Mr. Color leveling thinner, so it's 50-50. And then I added 4 milliliters of hardener to it. So Matthew does it by ounce or by milliliters. So he usually uses like 6 milliliters of paint, 6 milliliters of thinner, and then 2 milliliters of hardener. Well, my dose was doubled, and then I added a couple extra drops of hardener just to make up the difference in the volume of paint. But you can see, I mean, it's got a nice shine on it. It's going to get clear coated because I'm going to clear coat over the decals, and I got to 2-tone this, so do a little wet sanding to get rid of any edges from painting the stripe down through here and down the sides. I've come up with an idea on how to do it, so I'm going to roll with that, and hopefully the decals line up to that. I'm going to make mine a little shorter, I should say, all the way around, just so if anything, I'll overlap the decal, the divider of the 2 colors, the decals. I can overlap them a little bit, and instead of being short and then there'd be gaps in the decals, I'll have things. But all the firewall, all the little parts that got painted petty blue are all painted. There's the front valance, the hood. Like I said, you can see how nice and smooth the paint job is. I mean, it needs to be, if I was going for perfection, it would need to be wet sanded out, and then I'd probably hit it with a clear coat. And I still may, because I can see some stuff up close on the hood. I didn't get no dirt in it. It's clean. There's a mold line underneath that runs through the center of the hood, which I don't like and I didn't see. That would have required a lot of filling, sanding, and if I had seen it before, it's from that ridge underneath there, I would have done it. But not going backwards, going forwards. And then there's the ramp truck. She's all painted. She's ready for the doors to get put on, all the detail put in it, body mounted to the chassis, interior and all that put in. So we're moving along fairly nicely. I'm not exactly where I'd like to have been, but I've had some other issues. I got a house just like everybody else I got to maintain, take care of. So that being said, you guys got to look at everything that's going on. It's the same game plan. So when we're done with the 58, we're going to be bringing out Wife's Choice 2022. The 69 GTX, because those are the 2 that's closest to being done. When we get those knocked out, we're going to move back to the 60/66 C10. I think I've come up with a way to finish the masks. I hope that works, but because I mean it's really close, other than the body, and the interior. The interior is nothing. I'm what McGill is working on, making the fan that goes on the dashboard. It's a unique detail piece. You can't. I think some semi trucks have that little fan that sits on the dash. It's low voltage RAM fan. I don't think that would look right. It may. I mean, who knows? I've never seen one to really judge it or say it. But Miguel's supposed to be working on making that fan. So I'm kind of still stalled out on that, and I'm not 100% on my mask idea, but we're going to do some trial and error on a practice piece and see how it works. So after that's all said and done, give you guys something to look forward to. We got the gray Stang we're going to bring out, and we're going to finish that, and then we'll be starting on the other ramp truck. This one will be Budweiser. ramp truck and the NASCAR kit, and that's for my brother-in-law, the one I did the Clydesdale team for. And then Ghostbusters. So give you a little heads up. If you guys make some notes on what to look forward to, hit that bell notification, drop me a sub, thumbs up, thumbs down, drop me a comment. If it's something really big, you don't want to leave it all in the comments, put me an email down there. My email is always in the descriptions, every video, same way as, Mark's, Ryan Jones's, McGill's, my buddy, he's getting ready to come home from the hospital. He's trying to stay in because I guess there's a shortage on the medication that he requires on a daily basis for pain management. He can't get it filled and would have to come home with no pain meds. I don't know all the ins and outs on that, but I've left his link in the videos before. I'm not going to on this one, but you know who he is, Lee Barrett. Go check him out on Instagram. Drop him or follow him there. Leave him a little comment, some prayers, good well wishes. He could sure use it in the shape and situation he's in. That's pretty much all I know right now. I haven't talked to him in a few days. But you guys stay tuned. There's a lot coming. And go down there and hit that link. Go to Hobby Nut Models. That sale's still running. It's summer 22. That'll get you the 20% off used kits only. And go check out anything else. He's always got sales going on other stuff. Go check out everything he's got, all this inventory. You're gonna find you something that you want, you've been looking for, that you need. Hit that little link. It'll take you right there, and you can do all you need. But just remember that 20% off is just for used kits. It's an end of summer sale on that stuff. But other stuff, is priced fairly too. Go there, check out McGill's page. Like I said, you get 10% off your entire order. Be watching for the video for the new stuff coming from Z-Force Model Works, Mr. Ryan Jones. And you guys have a safe and wonderful weekend. This is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.